Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Welcome to the Benjamin Zulu show today again. Today we're going to have a very interesting conversation, by the way. Ladies, you better be very keen. Today we are hammering men, okay? Now, there is a show that we did and Benjamin made it categorically clear, okay, that we have people who love the positive side, the greener side, the better side of a relationship, but yet they are not ready for the work. The lazy mentality. All right? Now today, we want to talk about why some men love dating without settling down. How beautiful is that? Hey, Benjamin.
Hello. There have been a lot of talk about the boy child, the failure of fathers, deadbeat, deadbeat man, absent, irresponsible. There's a hue and cry in the family life, the family world. Those who, those who handle family issues, they're saying there's a common, widespread outbreak of sorts of men who just are not playing the role. And when they asked me the other day to comment about why kids are burning schools. I told them this is a contextualized problem with Kenya. It's not happening in South Africa. It's not happening. Kids are not angels over there. But to have a wave of school burning, it's not common in many other. I have not heard of it. When I ask other friends over there, they have strikes, normal kind of strikes, but like 20 schools burning in a week. Hey. And there was another wave some years back. I told them, you may not see this directly, but it's a failure of fatherhood. What we are discussing today, why men love dating without settling, has so many roots. I just want to pick a few to focus on today. It's because these men were fathered badly.
Okay.
They have the biological needs for a woman, but they lack the mental structure, infrastructure to hold a marriage. They don't know how to be a husband. They did not see a man being a husband. They saw two adults conflicting. They saw the father and the mother estranged. They saw distance, chaos, divorces, no connection. Many of them swore never to get married. There are people who have silent decision that they will not get married. But as they grow, their biology catches up. Emotionally, they begin to desire. Some desire sex, others desire children.
Very common.
But the idea of marriage is too confusing, unreliable. They did not see it work. The first reason young men are growing and having women in their lives and promising when they don't mean it and hanging around their life because they have two needs. Either they want the sex, the needs, the biological needs met, or they want a child. They want children to be called somebody's father. But that aspect of being a husband, they're not prepared for it. So the first reason is the same reason kids are touching schools.
All right.
They never saw authority. They ban the school because they hate an authority imposing on them a strange thing. They're supposed to obey and say, yes, sir, yes, madam, which they don't see in their house. Kids are reacting because it's foreign to be in a structured environment. They're coming from homes that are unstructured. Men are absent. They're not there. They're supposed to be leaders. The same question God asked Adam, where are you? He's still asking men. Adam means man. Man, where are you? It's a failure of leadership at home. As I told you, women can be leaders in families. Zeruiah of the Bible was a successful single mother who parented. The Bible leaves it quiet. But we know she might have been single because all her children are called sons of Zeruiah. Joab, son of Zeruiah. Asahel, son of Zeruiah. Abishai. And they were mighty men, all of them. Generals In fact, Joab was the commander-in-chief of David's army. You have Abishai, guy who is slaying giants. We have Asahel, the fastest man. All of them, that trio, those boys, generals serving the army, were sons of a woman called Zeruiah. It's important for you to understand that the Bible acknowledges women who did very good things. So we are not saying leadership is exclusive men, but God intended so. When women have to lead family, it's because circumstances forced them. A healthy woman will not come up upon herself say, I want to. You understand? Yeah. It's because situation places are there. So why men are afraid, where they date it, because look where it comes from. The marriage that was modeled to him, how he was treated. And as I told you, many boys who come to me saying they feel like they are gay, they're transsexual, like they don't identify like being a man. It's like they want to become a woman. It's like they want to, you know. Many of them I find a lot of pain in them growing up. It's a pain, a lot of pain. So when you find a person who dilly-dallies, they want to commit, many of them look back. The fathering was very painful. So many of these boys are transferring something they should have healed from. They should have healed. But as I told you, sometimes healing is painful, takes long, takes a lot of work. Relearning, unlearning, changing your beliefs. And we said, if you are broken, if you are hurt by a parent, by the absence of a parent, by seeing your mother struggle too much, by seeing your father abuse your family, if you are hurt and traumatized in childhood, and in between your childhood and your adulthood, you don't heal, you don't go to restructure, to straighten, you are born, figuratively speaking, will heal while twisted. So that it's no longer hurting, you're no longer being pained by you are moved from that home, times have gone, but the conclusions about marriage you came up with are twisted. That marriage never works. Women are if a man was put down by his father continually, good for nothing. Even in marriage you feel is good for nothing, he can't be a husband. If a boy was abused, if he was put down. So I want you to start with sympathy instead of hatred. When a man is dilly-dallying to move things forward, start with sympathy and start with empathy. Possibly, he can't admit it or he does not consciously know, but he never saw being a husband model. He never saw a healthy marriage model. The leading reason why men will date you for 5 years, 10 years, and run away is because he never saw the fatherhood model. They will ask me, but he rejects me and he goes marries another one within 2 months. When you stay with a person and you get to know them, if they fear healing, they'll be very uncomfortable when you already know about their wounds. Some will not marry, they just hope from one woman to another, to another woman to another. Because when you stay with one who has learned you, you feel challenged. And you never wanted to be challenged. You never wanted to heal. There are people who got wounded and they want romance where there's no accountability and challenge. But you, if you're a sober person, you wanted a healthy life, you have dealt with your own woundings. Healing is not always from those who are wounded. Healing sometimes is about restructuring your ways of thinking, dropping dysfunctional beliefs, picking the ones that are more aligned to reality, learning how to deal with the painful realities of life. We have many painful realities of life that by just acknowledging them, you feel bad. You don't need to be. If you align yourself with some truths, you will squirm. I just told you one truth. You will have people who don't like it. There are people who have not yet still made peace with that. They know it in abstract. But when they meet one person who's clearly, and Bramwell, when you're this public, you find people hate the way you laugh. They keep coming around to complain. No, you are down to laughing. They forget that we are not laughing in their house. How would you come to complain in my space? I welcome feedback. But if this is a hatred and bad attitude, my friend, thankfully I have good scouts hovering around eagerly. In fact, they are quite idle. They are looking for this kind of elements to carry you up. When I was young, my father used to sell beer. Whenever they are selling beer, they always have bouncers to carry away disorderly people. Very strong guys whose their work is to handle disorder. So you bring disorder, they lift you up. So, in this world, you also need to have some kind of bouncers. You may not be running a club, but you have enough drunk people We have enough disorderly people even in the streets of life. So the first reason is failure of fatherhood. And he never learned that he should heal. Or he never faced the healing. Healing is like surgery. It involves opening the wound.
Yeah.
Healing. We go to the doctor hoping we will not have to be injected, to be operated on. There will be no painful procedures. We always hope. Even the tablets that people struggle to swallow because it's not meant to be sweet. It's dealing with another problem. Healing is like that. Always remember that. That's why people avoid it. The way you avoid going to hospital and being laid on those stretchers, that's why people avoid emotional beds, emotional healing. So maybe he never saw it and he never healed. I told you another reason men don't heal. They value their ego more than their health, right? Mm-hmm. It's outright foolishness. Why are you trying to glamorize it? Value their ego and looking like they have it all together more than they value. Have you seen those men who lose somebody through death and they change for the worse?
Yeah.
For permanently. Mm-hmm. They start drinking carelessly and they can't hold a job since they lost their mother. Yeah. Since they lost their wife, since they lost their daughter, since they lost their father, grief happens and the person deteriorates permanently. They simply don't want to address the root. They keep medicating it with alcohol, with women, with this lifestyle, with this. It's a grief that they did not address because he does not want to admit that he has never quite moved on since he lost. You understand? Yeah. When I lost my father, I was careful. That does not complicate. Mm-hmm. I was very careful to make sure I process it. I had my own, customs. I had my own, the way David would mourn. David has shown us he was a very strong man, but he was also very emotional. Mm-hmm. He would cry and mourn and cry for Jonathan, said, how the mighty have fallen. Jonathan, my brother, you are a very strong man. How did they kill you so shamefully? You need that ability, brother. Yeah. Not be so stone cold that even when you lose people who are dear to you, you can't cry. It will complicate. You find yourself medicating in the wrong things. Mm-hmm. So there are men who, the reason they can't commit, they can't show up emotionally is because something happened and they can't swallow their ego. Mm-hmm. And lay on a stretcher and remove their trouser to be injected. It's very uncomfortable. But you want to heal. Yeah. You want to heal. So if you don't like to see the injection, let them inject as you look the other way. Brother, there's that through life. Once you grow in an abusive, dysfunctional, and as I told you, the kids who are listening to us, many of them, outwardly, their family was happy, outwardly. Mm-hmm. But internally, it was very cold and hurtful. All right? The second reason, brother, why people don't will date you for long and they keep promising, but they never commit, they never go to your home, they never want to make the wedding, they keep pushing the wedding forward, it's because, and this may make many women uncomfortable, but they have heard that men want sex and they can fake love to get sex. Mm-hmm. Women know that in theory. But they like to imagine the man they're dealing with can't be like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. In theory, women will know. Yeah, I think that, they do that.
But in reality,
that's our problem, Brahma. Truth is never that new. We just didn't think it applies to us. Okay? Yeah. That's why people know there's HIV. But they'll still create an exemption to risk. They still know alcoholism, liver, but there's still... Yeah. Generally, we know, we have an idea that we think we are different. Mm-hmm. We think we are special. We think it does not apply to us. So the second reason is very open, in the wide open, that he is in it for the sex, for the benefit, not for the long term. Yeah. And for this case, I blame the woman for not having discipline. Mm-hmm. If she had standards, remind women to keep sex for marriage, and they will never lose anybody who was serious to marry them. Yeah. Yeah. When I tell them that for marriage, they always go away. They go away because they were not here for marriage. Mm-hmm. They were here for sex. Men can keep you there for long, to use you. Right? It does not look human, but it happens.
It happens.
Yeah. They know very well they'll never commit. And when they want you to go away, they just ignore you. Mm. So that you get frustrated and go. Tell women to stop spending nights in men's houses. Yeah. Make your bed your friend. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yeah. Always go at home. When night comes, mama, go where? Home. This may look like a simple prescription, but it will save you. Yeah. Did you go to a doctor and you hear them emphasizing things that you think they're banal? Take a lot of water. I've heard that. That taking water can remove toxins from your body, can enable your body hydrated, can remove headaches. simple routines by saying, before I'm married, I'll never spend out there with a lover or whoever. I'll always spend at home. If I can't spend at home, I'll pay money in a hotel. When you go to campuses, don't be housed by anybody. Pay a room. Or spend with a guy friend or a lady friend. Somebody of your own gender. There's a guy who came to Nairobi and he spent with a guy friend. At night he had a guy, mounting on top of him, and it's a guy. He felt weird activity. This guy has a fetish for, same sex, same gender, whatever. So the guy was running in the streets of Nairobi at 2 a.m. Pay money, spending a lodging. Some of those people, you don't know them well.
Yeah.
You don't know the perversions they deal with. You don't know what they're nursing. Generally, Bramwell, bear your own cost of living. Generally. Just make that your principle. You won't bother people. And have you noticed also when people house you, you don't know, you're afraid to use the bathroom, you're afraid to tissue, you don't know whether you're doing the right thing, you don't know how to lock the door. Talking on phone, are you making noise? What time do you wake up here? You wake up at night, lights are off, you don't know which direction the washroom, you don't know what to put on the... Do you want all that discomfort?
No.
Surely. Calculate your mathematics, pay your money somewhere, go. You are in charge. When you pay the room, you're in charge. Yeah. This is your space. You paid for it. So, men date without settling because they wanted to use you and they don't want to commit. That reason is because there are many men who have not yet found themselves. They don't know what they want. They just don't know what they want. They genuinely love you. Let me confuse women for a moment. Because women believe in true love as if it were a religion. It's true love. I'm not sure he loves me. And I also love him. I know it must be. We love each other. Imagine for 3 years now. We have fought for each other. Man can love you sincerely, but he does not know himself.
Yeah.
Hi. Man, I don't know. Women and love. The moment they feel genuinely loved, they lose it. It's very difficult for a woman who is not enlightened to walk away when he knows the man is sincere.
Yeah.
Many of them think there must be insincerity for me to walk away.
Yeah.
The man can love you sincerely, but the seasons of his life, he has another journey to go. He has another journey to go. He's still hurting from his ex. He's still hurting from childhood issues. He's still undecided about the career he wants. He's still undecided about, he can't stand up. He can't stand up for himself. He can't stand up to his mother, stand up to his brother. There are people who sincerely, Brahma, and you have seen those people. I told you one problem with these young girls you're going to be interacting with. They will love you with everything they have. Their heart, their kidneys, their pancreas, even mitochondria. They will love you with everything. But where is she in life? Ask women to always ask themselves that question. A person can love you sincerely, but they're addicted to alcohol, addicted to betting.
Yeah.
They have no footing. They are not ready for love yet. But you see the sincerity, how they... Can you imagine a guy who travels from here to Kisumu to come and see you? And when he's with you, he hides nothing. His phones are there with you and he shows. You can tell a person who is sincere. You can see sincerity. Tell ladies to always pity those guys. Start with pity. To pity is to feel sorry because of how mistaken they are.
Yeah.
Tell them, you know what? You're a nice guy. I was once told that. So I'm telling you from the horse's mouth. And you love me sincerely. Now, whenever you hear a person starting with praises, wait for the twist. When they read judgments in court, they always start by agreeing with the loser. Yes. They pick all the good points of the loser and they agree with them. Only to say, however, they change direction to say, oh, this notwithstanding, you lose because. So, start with picking the positive points that you're a good guy and you're genuine. I don't think you're cheating. I don't think you are lying. That I believe everything you're saying. The only problem is your season is not yet there yet. We are not compatible. You have another journey to go. Brother, I was told that and I believed it. Sometimes the person who is telling you the truth is the one who's saying goodbye. Be careful. Yeah. What you said that sometimes the wrong decisions can take you to the right place. You fall in love with a person at the wrong time, but they take you where you needed to go from the first place.
Yeah.
They tell you, my brother, go focus on your growth first. You have another journey to go. So there are women who date, there are men who date you, and they know they're not in a place to marry. They can't afford it, they can't support a family. Now, they're emotionally in a bad place, financially in a bad place, socially in a bad place, they have an addiction they're struggling with, they have a pain inside, they need a lot of therapy, they need a lot of... They're sincere, you are sincere, but the season is wrong. If women can understand this, I will have spared them a lot of horrible marriages.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can pester him until he agrees to marry. If you pester enough, Delilah pestered, be careful with pestering. It looks weak, but it works. Delilah pestered Samson until he gave up the secret. Brother, never stay with nagging people. If you know this decision is not right and somebody keeps pestering, block them, remove them from your life. Hey, my brother, you know, Jacob married, two sisters.
Yes.
But his brother, Esau, married women who became a thorn in the flesh to the parents. They were trouble. Trouble. Listen, somebody who begins to irritate you, pester you, push you, nag you, with time you get tired and give up. You collapse. Don't nag a man. You can make him to do what you have been nagging, but he's not in it. He's not into it. He did it because you insisted. He did it because you requested. God did not want to give Israelites a king. He was their king. But they insisted and gave them Saul, and they rejected. They regretted it later. Some things you can get by insisting. Can get him to formalize, can get him to do a wedding. Some women even pay. They offer all kind of help to make the wedding happen because she has already invested too much. She has stayed with him. She has children, built houses, do this. It's a lot of foolishness. I don't know why people do that. Don't invest when there's no security. Is that hard to figure out?
No.
Don't invest emotions and money in business when there's no security. That's why people are moving around saying, I was swindled after all these years. After all this, what were you expecting? You sold on credit, and not all debtors pay. Creditors are running after debtors all over. Loan defaulters are everywhere. Yeah. Why? That's why auction business is popular. Now, what will you auction yourself? You've given your time, your money, given your house, and if you are doing it and saying my case is different, remember, one day you may come to say it's too late. And probably we said, don't rent out, when people want to borrow money, give them the kind of money you can live without. If they don't pay. When people want to borrow your time, how much time can you live without? Is it 10 years?
No.
Why are people lending out 10 years? It's a general wisdom about money. To only give out what, in case they don't pay, I'm not stuck. Don't give that kind of emotions, the kind of investment that you can't live without, in case. And I've met many people say, the man, sometimes death strikes, the man dies, but they were never officially married. So she inherits nothing. His family takes everything. They even maybe take away the children. Now you are left in the world. You are not married, you are not divorced. So what happened? It was a, you know the way he put in quotes, come we stay. This kind of marriage. And I usually just stop there. If you can entertain such a complication and you're selling yourself on loan, my friend, you are sleepwalking through life. Brahma, to live presently, to be aware, means you can discuss with a person, you like each other, the chemistry is wonderful. Conversations are deep. And they're even spiritual like you. But when you sound them out, you realize they are wounded. Or they are a long way to go financially. They are a long way to go socially. There are people who delay because they are carrying their family and they can't create distance. They don't have the capacity. And I told you, even if you're the one supporting your family financially, when the season comes, separate your life enough to still start your own. In fact, when you're with a woman, you can support the family with 2 minds now, thinking better. You do it at teamwork. See what can be done there. Brahma, anything you want to do, if you get the right woman, she will help you. Don't delay marrying because you are helping her. But there are people who don't have that wisdom to split. They are carried away fully by the family. They are siphoned every money, every energy, everything. It's carried away. You can't, even if you flow well, but you notice this person is swallowed by the family. you want to get in there?
No.
You regret it. The last reason people want to date you without marrying. Now, why would they date you first of all, and they know you're looking for marriage? Sometimes, Brahma, people get carried away by your goodness.
Yeah.
People will come to your life because of how you shine and how happy, how lovely you are, the way you're supportive and thoughtful. He can date you because of how wonderful a woman you are. When he cannot marry, he may have a child out there and even hide some.
Mm-hmm.
He may have a life out there that he don't want to become married. He may want to philander with many women. But he noticed how good you are and he's overwhelmed. Yeah. Whenever you see indecisiveness, the solution to all women, decide early you go into the market to look for marriage. Mm-hmm. You're not looking for, and keep sex out of it. Women are the ultimate losers when they give in to sex before marriage. It confuses them, they get emotionally attached. Mm-hmm. They get confused. Pregnancy, what, reputation, some, and you know some of them sleep with the people and the people take nudes. They take photos. Mm-hmm. And they blackmail you with them. Ah, man. One girl was telling me this guy has been blackmailing me with the photos of mine he took when I used to stay with him. Why would you undress for a man who is not your husband? You knew you were risking that. What were you thinking? Now, he has so much power to ruin your life. Mm-hmm. I told her, the solution here is spiritual, unfortunately. Brother, what else can you do? If somebody has your photos and they're nude,
go down on your knees.
What else can you do? You know they have the stomach to post it.
Yeah.
You know, we have a guy who has been posting things. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He wants to communicate his point. Be careful with people who have the stomach to do things that are unimaginable. They can ruin you. So that the solution in this kind of fixes are not legal because there's no offense they're committing so far. You are no longer together and they keep threatening. You block them. Remember, I have, they can spill over. The only solution I know at this point, carry a token offering, a sin offering. Go to God and plead in earnest that guy's phone falls into water.
Or is stolen.
Some thieves can snatch and then maybe they flash it. Pray for something. And I know God has helped people in those situations. Yeah. Those who are already in it, that is a solution. Don't start running around and hoping for anything else. God will help you. There are those who are not in it. Stop undressing for people who have not married. Yeah. Can record you and sabotage you and finish you. One of the things, Brahma, to bring your questions, your dignity and your clothes serve the same purpose. Mm-hmm. Today, even if you don't say bad things, but you walk here naked, you lose your credibility. Yeah. Your dignity is the same. If you strip your dignity and people see your photos being spread over here, you lose your name, you lose your credibility, you lose your respect. So one of the things I want to ask these women to be careful with is don't stay with a man who seems undecided, unsure about what he wants. And don't give your goods before you arrive at where you're going. Yeah. Don't unpack before you arrive at the destination. If a person is insisting on sex, most likely that's what he wanted. You stand by your principle, and the right person will never leave you because you're a principled woman.
Mm-hmm. Powerful. I like that, Benjamin. I'll begin with the first one, Benjamin, because fatherlessness is becoming so rampant, and that is what we are in this chaos here. Benjamin, these men who've lacked the father figure, the authority of a father in their lives, Benjamin, are running away from dealing with the root. They have adopted a way of using human beings to feed or to fill their void. They don't want to acknowledge that there is a void inside them. How can you deal with that?
Brahma, that feeling of emptiness and loss and hopelessness and feeling, like there's something you're lacking, it comes when you are not validated. Mm-hmm. When you're not brought up being assured. Rather, something was extracted by being ignored, being treated like you don't exist. Yeah. Being ignored can be very painful. All right? Mm-hmm. Where you expected love, you're given indifference. You may feel like you don't matter, you don't count. The solution, again, is to always seek therapy. Seek restoration of your identity. You're not empty. It's the feeling you were given. It's the perception you were given. It's the wounding you were given of your self-esteem. We said in Africa, until we normalize emotional healing, we remain behind. Why do many people here overdrink? They're trying to fill the void. So don't go to alcohol. Don't go to lose sex. Don't go to gambling, or even some people take that emptiness to work. They overwork to feel significant at work. They gather money to feel significant with money. Remember, the solution to that feeling of emptiness is to go find yourself by correcting the wrong perceptions that were imprinted into you. That happens through therapy, through life coaching. That happens through emotional corrective surgery. Yes.
All right. And you once said, and I've seen you write about it, the best way to show love is to, first of all, carry out the test of love. You carry out the test of love by, first of all, loving yourself. And we have these women who, they don't know how to love themselves. They have that idea, but now this guy who is not interested in marrying them is offering that. So they keep tagging them along and dragging them.
He is taking advantage of her neediness and emptiness and lack of emotional balance. And as you have put it, if you go to the market, to the dating market, without knowing that you lack something, that lack will be manipulated by to waste your time. The wrong person can treat you right by validating you, praising you, encouraging you, supporting you, but they don't want to marry.
Yeah.
You wanted marriage. But the feeling they give you is so invigorating and life, you feel alive. You feel good when you're around them, you laugh. But them, they told you they don't want anything serious. But you bring your everything here. Whenever you find yourself falling for the person who clearly told you they're not available, the problem is you. Retreat quickly. Go to life coaching, therapy, self-reflection. Any atmosphere that allows you to say, why do I feel so drawn when I know they're not available? It's because I have that need to be validated, loved, held, cherished. Where that is a need, when that's a healthy need for all healthy people. But when it is absorbing and uncontrollable, it means I'm the one who has a problem. So tell ladies to be alert and self-monitoring. Whenever you fall for a person who is not available, you have a problem that you need to solve on your own. Yes.
And you realize we have some women who actually pause their lives in their season because they've discovered this guy has a good potential of making a good husband. So they hang around.
And let's repeat this. Don't date potential. Even if he's very handsome, composed, godly, warm, responsible, and listens so well, and he makes you feel so nice, but he's not thinking about love. Or he has a distance to go. And you are ahead there and you think you can wait for him. And so you literally wait.
Yes.
You pause advancing your career. You pause dating other people. You pause moving to another place. You pause things, hoping that this one will work. And you keep pouring into him. And most people welcome help. Generally speaking. Generally speaking, people welcome that kind of. But they see you as a mother. They see you as a mother, and you came. Then you start saying, you found him when that's how they say. I found him when he had nothing. I helped him when he became something. He left. You had posted your life to mentor and put together a person. What you must always remember is, you post your life to wait and you date because of potential and the possibility, you are cheating yourself. You're breaking your own heart by investing where nobody has asked you to invest.
That is it, guys. And that is the best point we can actually leave this conversation at. Remember, if you're not dating to get married, you are dating to break up. Thank you for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.